It's another edition of Let's Talk Shelbyville. I am Marilyn Ewing, and of course, when you talk Shelbyville, one of the things that may come to mind, of course, the walking horse capital of the world. We do have the CEO of the Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration, Mr. Warren Wells. Hello and welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Always good to see you.
You too.
One of the busiest people I know. And it's just not where I call the big show, which is the show in August, September, the celebration. But all year long, there are events going on. And of course, the beautiful Cooper Steel Arena is certainly the perfect place.
Yes, yeah, we're attracting a lot more events there than we have in the past.
Yes.
And with renovations, I think we're just going to continue to grow.
Absolutely.
It's been great.
100 plus acres, 1,100 or so barns.
Yep, so we're
stalls.
105 acres. We have tore down some of the old barns, so our stall count's getting a little lower.
Okay.
But we are still one of the largest equestrian centers in the Southeast for sure.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's just grand. Let's talk about the Cooper Steel Arena.
Yeah.
Brand new look. It looks great.
Yeah. And so, the face of it looks a little different.
Yeah.
We've painted the entire building. They are just about complete with all the bathroom renovations. It's been great, and we're probably only halfway through.
Wow.
And so, Gary Cooper with Cooper Steel, a lot of it's some of his vision, and so we're trying to keep upgrading as we have time open in the calendar.
Yeah, as I mentioned, so many events all year long. I know Mr. Preston Folks, he has done this Lone Star rodeo for many, many years, and he's coming back.
Yes, he'll be here in February. The Folks family. It's one of my favorite because I remember going as a kid. Rachel Folks, who is kind of running it now for her dad. She first came to what was Calisonic Arena back then in a stroller, her first time, and now she's running it. And so it's kind of cool. She's near my age, and so we kind of talk about the good old days. But it was the first event we ever had in the arena when it was built, and it was the first event we had when we announced it's going to be Cooper Steel Arena.
Wow!
And it will hopefully we'll have some new things this year that it'll be the first event for. We're excited.
Right. Well, let's skip on down to the big show, the celebration. I know that and congratulations, your third year in the books.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. You must be, now you're more seasoned now with this. Are you feeling more at ease and relaxed?
Yeah, definitely. I know what to expect a little bit more. That first year, I just wanted to ride along and just try to keep up and learn from it. And we've made some tweaks here and there. Second year made quite a few tweaks. Some we kept, some we didn't. This year was great. The weather was up and down. We had horrible weather, really hot weather at first, and then we ended with amazing weather, and our attendance went up when that great weather came in. We had a great show. The last 2 years have been some of the top entry numbers that we've had in many, many years. So we're super proud of where we are on those.
Where, as far as entries, are you striving to get back to?
We had the highest in 10 years, and I think if we could just kind of tick up every year a little bit more and kind of knock off maybe the highest in 12 years, highest in 13 years, those type of things. But I will tell you, if we stayed where we are, we would be happy. You always want to grow, but we're at a point now that it jumped so much in the last couple of years that just a little increase here and there would be wonderful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you're wanting to instigate to? You have your barn competition, you have the dog show, and so many lovely events during the show.
Yeah, it's great. The Ladies Auxiliary, the Trainers Ladies Auxiliary does the dog show. We have a golf tournament that goes on during that, and the barn decorations is something. We have a golf cart decoration that we did this past year that it's 2 years in a row that people really like. And we're trying to think of more of that fan experience stuff. What I want people on the grounds 24 hours a day. We have 286 RV spots, so people are living on the grounds the whole time they're here for the show. But I want activity there and things like that. So we're still trying to think of other things to do along those lines.
Absolutely. Warren, we're going to take a very quick break, come back with more right here. He is the CEO of the Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration, Mr. Warren Wells, on Let's Talk Shelbyville. We'll return right after this.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
We're back here. It's Let's Talk Shelbyville. I'm Marilyn Ewing. Warren Wells, the guest today, as we talk celebration, all of the beautiful events that go on the grounds inside the Cooper Still Arena. It's just gorgeous, just beautiful. And speaking of the events, we talked about several things. We've talked about what we see there, the rodeo and so on. But there are softball tournaments coming up. Arena cross. That type of thing.
Yeah, we are an equestrian center, and that is really the main thing we want to focus on is bringing in equestrian events from all over the country. But sometimes, in these off months where you don't have a lot of equestrian events, the colder months, we have softball, and so that fills up our arena. Basically, every weekend in December and January, that's not a holiday, we have softball, and they come from all over the Southeast, Alabama and Kentucky, and they love it. It's really cool. They have 2 fields at once in the arena.
Awesome.
And then we've had 2 weeks of arena cross. That's new for us. weren't sure how it was going to work out. Have a few things to kind of iron out as you go through a new event. So we got 2 weeks out of the way, and we have 3 more coming up in February. Right after Lone Star Rodeo, we'll have 3 weeks of arena cross. So we're super pumped about that. It seemed like the locals really enjoyed the arena cross, something different. And then I was just talking to our arena director yesterday, and out of 52 weeks, we only have about 10 weeks that we can fill with events left for the 2024 calendar, even less for the 2025 calendar, which is exciting. But of those 10 weeks, you got to think, Christmas is in there and New Year's. It's hard to put events on some of those days, so we don't have a whole lot of open days.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And I say that because you bring people, and people spend money.
Yes.
And we love it. It's amazing that the celebration actually spearheads, is very instrumental in so much how you're helping the community. It's great.
It's definitely a passion of mine, and one of the reasons why I wanted to come home and take the job 2.5 years ago. We all know about the celebration, and it does. It is probably our biggest boost of tourism and things like that, but we have other ways of making money that we're really trying to focus on now. When I say making money for the local economy. But these equestrian events, every time, for every horse that we bring onto our property, typically it's 2.5 to 3 people come with every horse. So when we have a horse event that has 300 horses, that's a lot of people coming with it. That's buying gasoline and buying food in our restaurants and even buying hay and shavings and stuff from Tractor Supply. It all adds up so fast.
It does.
Not to mention staying in our hotels and our Airbnbs and things like that. So that's where I get really excited. Is trying to see how much events we can bring in, these large events that bring a lot of people to our town. I would love for Shelbyville to always be known as the walking horse capital of the world, which we always will be. But I'd just be loved and known as an equine town. Just a horse town. Everybody comes here because there's going to be some kind of equestrian event at some point. So,
that sounds good. That sounds good. Of course, the new Hampton Inn coming. That's going to be a big plus.
Yes, we need that tremendously. Our focus has been horse shows that are 600 horses or more. You're getting to these are not quite as common. They go to big cities like Fort Worth and Oklahoma City and things. And we really think that we can compete for events like that. But every time the wall we keep hitting is we don't really have anywhere for our people to stay when we come to your town. And so the Hampton Inn, I think, will be a great addition for us.
Very exciting.
I'm bragging about it. Every time I talk to a new show, I'm like, hey, we're getting a Hampton Inn,
Yay.
So,
Yeah. I know you were beat up with questions. Why can't we have a concert? Why can't we have this type of an event?
Yeah, I do. I get that a lot. And we would love to have big concerts, but there's a couple of things. One, Cooper Still Arena, just the acoustics is not built for it, really. We had concerts there back in the day, but things have changed so much. Concerts have gotten so specialized. And we also live in Middle Tennessee, which there's a lot of great venues to go to. So for me to recruit somebody down to Shelbyville when we don't have the hotels or something like that, and they can go to all these great venues, Ascend and things like that around Nashville, it is hard. But I will tell you one thing that I really see for us is, if I bring an event, let's take the Monster Trucks versus equestrian event. So Monster Trucks is great. It's super exciting. We love having it. But a lot of the money that is spent there basically comes from the restaurants here in town or something. They don't go there to eat. They come to my facility and buy hot dogs and hamburgers from us and spend their money there, and maybe not at the movie theater that night, which that's fine. I think we want to sprinkle some of those events in, but the events that I really want to bring in is the one that brings 1,000 people to town for an equestrian event that weren't going to spend their money in our town already. And that's the ones I really think will help our local economy grow and help our town more than just moving our retail dollars around different places. But both are good because I do want to entertain our town. That's something that I think is a job for us. That's why we do Monster Trucks, and that's why we do rodeos, because it is entertainment for our locals.
Absolutely. Of course, you have a board of directors that actually put things in place and such. I don't know exactly how that works.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So I have a 7-member board. So actually the celebration, a lot of people don't know this, it's very rare for an equestrian center of our size to be one in a small town like this. A lot of them are on the outskirts of big cities.
Yes.
And then the second, most of them are owned by local government or something. So Miller Coliseum, owned by MTSU, things like that. One, because it brings in so much tax dollars that the local government knows they need it, but it's also very hard to make a profit when you're an equestrian center. You have to be as cheap as possible to get events. But anyway, the celebration is actually privately owned, so we're owned by an association called the Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration Association. It's a 50-member association, and of that, they have 7-member board that is our board of directors who I answer to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
A lot or all of your events actually are posted online. It's very easy to find you.
Yes. Our website gets lost a lot of times, but it is www.twhnc.com. So it's Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration.com. All of our events, once you come onto our website and you click on the events section, you will see all the events that we have. We usually do it about a quarter in advance because things change a little bit as we go, but we always have the next quarter ready to go.
Exactly, and individuals can always get tickets for upcoming shows, box seats for the season and that type of thing?
Yep, yeah, our office is always open and ready to help with tickets and things like that. But I will say most of the events that we have on our property, we do not own. We are just the facility. So our website will have a link to the owner of that event, and that's where you would buy your tickets and things like that.
Again, what's that website?
TWHNC.com.
Oh, it sounds easy to read. Absolutely. Well, Warren, congratulations again on your 3rd year under your belt.
Thank you.
For wonderful works that you are doing, the celebration, the Cooper Still Arena, all of the events. It's very exciting. We're proud to have it. Not going to let anyone take it, so it's here.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, we're here.
Absolutely. Warren Wells, thank you always for your time.
Thank you.
It's another edition of Let's Talk Shelbyville. Thank you so much for watching.